Hello, this is Godo. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions Remastered. Last time some stuff happened, and yeah, I don't actually remember what happened last time, but anyways, let's get to what I did since last time. So I upgraded my sword by adding the Terra Steel Tough Rod to it, because I saw what the Terra Steel was doing in that pickaxe I made last episode, and I was like, oh snap. Oh yeah, we started working on Package Thom, right. I made some improvements to our infusing area. So if we go over to the Thaumcraft area, I just added a little chest here. And this chest puts items into these pedestals. They are prioritized, so whenever you put like an even number of items in here, well, that was probably too many items to demonstrate. Here, let me take those back. So let me put like 6 items in here. So let's get 6 items. So whenever you put an even number of items, it should distribute them so that they will be symmetrical. So you can see here that they are indeed symmetrical. And this is just done by having a priority of pillars matching between the pillars on the bottom, and they're just having the items being pushed into them via an item conduit. So this is like priority 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 there. And then that's how the items all get in there symmetrically. So whenever I was doing an infusion craft, all I have to do is dump the ingredients in here and it will put them where they belong, because that was kind of annoying me last time. Don't think I really did anything else over here. Oh yeah, I can get my thaumium that we made last episode. Let's go ahead and fly back to the base, even though there's a teleporter right there I just forgot about, because I always forget about it. So I did that. I did a little bit of cleanup around the ore processing and the chemical processing area. So I am, instead of pushing items from our ore processing into this crate and then pushing it into our logistics systems, which gets it to our AE system, now I'm just pushing it directly into our AE system. And then also this electrolyzer, centrifuge, and chemical reactor here, this is the one that is for, what's it for? It's for the platinum group metals. That is now also just pumping directly. It's getting nitric acid directly from our system, as well as putting the stuff directly into our system as well. I don't need to show these on the interface either, the interface terminal. So, and then there was a bunch of stuff over here, like processing platinum related things. Right now, I only have the Aqua Regia and the centrifuge for the Aqua Regia, and this is where the platinum group sludge comes to centrifuge. But once again, I removed the logistic pipes, and now it's just pumping directly into our system. Really, all that logistic pipes is hooked up to at this point is ethanol production, sodium persulfate, salt, brine, uh, chlorine, I think. No, chlorine. Yeah, chlorine as well. Chlorine comes from over here, the salt electrolyzer. And sodium hydroxide, of course. So those are all running. We do be having 5,000 sodium hydroxide, which is a good amount. I think I mentioned this last episode, but I changed the sodium bisulfate recipe to use salt instead of sodium hydroxide, because we need sodium hydroxide for some other recipes. Also, our liquid starlight went crazy, I should say, when I went and we put those Vintium crystals up here. Sometime in the middle of last episode, and then I came back like 2 hours later, and I just came over here to look to see how these wells were doing, and several of the Vintium crystals were still there. So those crystals can last up to hours, and they produce starlight so much better. So like definitely worth considering them. Yeah, it looks like they've all broken at this point, but definitely worth considering them if you need to up your starlight production game significantly. Um, and then substation upgrade. Because now we are in the LUV age of LUV machines, I went ahead and I upgraded our substation. We now have a 64 amp substation dynamo hatch. So this baby right here can output up to 64 times LUV voltage, which is 32768. So it can upgrade. It can output up to this much EU. Can I copy paste? Copy paste. There we go. That number. We're there at the bottom of the screen. 2.1 million EU per tick, which is crazy. We definitely can't make that much EU per tick, but even if we were able to, if we were drawing that much energy out at the same time, we would have a good, one, like, 1,300 ticks of that much voltage. Our power would be good. Actually, here we can demonstrate by pulling out my drill. This is the infinity drill that just like takes power endlessly. What is this set to over here? Let me set this to be unlimited power draw right now. Even more unlimited. I'm not going to set a disable limit here because then it... Oh, disable limit's already set. Okay. Alright, so watch what happens when I put this in my hotbar. It's going to start charging very fast. And then if we go down here, we can see just how much energy that's drawing down here. Yep. 2.1 million EU per tick, just like I said. And that's going to last 10 minutes at that draining rate. But that's also assuming that we're not making anything. So now our generator's just kicked on. 131,000 EU per tick isn't really going to put much of a scratch when we're draining this much. But we're not going to really consistently be draining anywhere near that amount of power, so that is our new capacity for output, though. And then I also upgraded this side because we need to keep that weird loop going so that the flux points work properly on lower voltage outputs. But other than that, yeah. So this episode, I actually carved out a new basement here because I want to... Honestly, like, infrastructure-wise, this is not a very, like... This is not a super duper crazy mod pack. You don't have to go crazy with the builds in this mod pack if you don't want to. You can if you want to. But I kind of wanted to do just like a crazy ore processing setup. So I wanted to do all multi-blocks for the ore processing setup. So I wanted to do regicality multi-blocks, all of these. So like the, not large solidification array, but like the large sifting funnel, the large, where are the other ones? Electromagnet's kind of on the fence for me if I even want this one, because the large electromagnet, that's polarizer and the electromagnetic separator, we haven't actually really used them. It's this part of ore processing over here that's off to the side. Frankly, we're not going to be centrifuging most of the metals that this is even for. So, I mean, let me look, right? We'd only really be centrifuging gems because most of the other stuff I'm just kind of like... Here, so monazite would go through there for neodymium, but neodymium's kind of like, meh, whatever. And like a bunch of these don't even have electromagnetic separator on them. I thought I pressed use on electromagnetic separator, but... Okay, so these are our options. Monazite, mineral sand, which I don't think even spawns, basaltic mineral, vanadium magnetite for gold, glauconite for iron, pentanalidite for iron. This is a platinum group, so we wouldn't do that. Neodymium from this. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of stuff we don't really need. Like neodymium is nice. This, admittedly, is nice right here. This enriched Naquata from regular Naquata, but if we just put it through the thermal centrifuge and then we get this enriched Naquata at the tier of whatever LV, I guess this is. Let me look at that. Enriched, yeah, so LV tier, this is giving 15% of an enriched Naquata, and then every tier up we get plus 4%. This one is giving, well, frankly, it's giving more right out of the gate. It's giving 14 at ULV tier, So at LV tier, it's already giving 20%, etc. So it's much more if we just use that. So yeah, we're not going to do the electromagnetic separator. Wow, it do be noisy outside. Some kind of storm going on, I guess. um, but we will be doing, just go through our machines really quick. Macerator, yes. Ore washer and chemical baths, yes, we'll probably have one of each. And I might even tap the chemical bath with our ME system for crafting because we've been having some really slow crafting recipes. The quantum eyes and quantum stars, for instance. Sifting machine, yes. Thermal centrifuges and centrifuge, yes, those are the same machine as well. They're just different mode. And packager, probably not. We don't generate a large amount of tiny dust, so that's not going to be relevant. And instead of using these, a bunch of these GregTech or dictionary filters, we're not going to be using as many of them. We will be using much fewer of them. Probably more relying on the ME or dictionary storage bus. So this is kind of the same thing, except you can put 512 characters in here. I don't know how many characters you can put in these, but not quite as many. Here, I know one of these is like really long. Not this one. I think it's this one up here. Yeah, this one up here is really long. It's off the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, I could only get 18 here. So if I go here... Whoops. Uh-oh. Okay, good. I cut it instead of copying it. Drop this in Notepad really quick and just look at it. Yeah, it's 64 characters, so that that buffer over there is 8 times bigger that you can put in here. So we can put like a really crazy or dictionary storage bus string in there. Something like I actually have a notepad that I started. We could do something like this, for example, for getting our things that we would be putting into the processing of oh gosh, you can't hold characters in here. Well, that would be for putting into the processing of like the crucible stuff that I want to put in the crucible. Anyways, we do have a few things we need to automate. So first off, at package auto, I forgot where I left off at this. Oh yeah, we made our thing that makes the clathrades. Clathrades? How do you pronounce this word again? Clathrate. Pronounce. Yeah, clathrate. Okay. I was doing it. I was saying it right. So we can now basically make it a solid form of Essentia. There it is. Wow, amazing. Also, if we wanted to, we could like melt this down into Essentia. It's basically shards, but not exactly, because when you melt stuff down, you get less of it. However, the thing we can do with this is we can basically say, yo, get some sand, for instance, and we can go to the, well, we can't do it from here, but we can see that sand is 5 Terra and 5 entropy. So we could do like a sand, and then we could have a clathrate of Terra and a clathrate of entropy, and just say one sand makes 5 of those. And then that's how we could kind of do some on-demand crafting of those things. And then to actually make sure they craft, because you probably know the void, or not the void, the Essentia smelter. Smelt? What are they called? I thought I had a, oh, I guess I didn't make it. So I made this, advanced alchemical construct to make a void Essentia smeltery with. And apparently I don't have anything else we need for it, because of course not. Actually, we should have that. Why did it not go in here? Come on. Do I have to shift click it? Buddy, come on, come on. I know we have brass plates and void plates. Okay, what else do you need? We need a regular Essentia smelter. Anyways, I made the stuff to make a void metal Essentia smeltery, which is a little faster than the Essentia smeltery, but more importantly, it gives a 95% return on your Essentia rather than the standard 80%. So we get a little bit more bang for our buck with that. Void, metal plate. I guess we need those. And then I guess we'll need an Essentia smeltery as well, right? So make one of these really quick. We don't have a crucible. Okay, that time I was like, doubt. Um, yeah, but like we'd have the brass plates though. What's your problem? Jeez. LV machine hole. And then let me get a Salus Mundus for the crucible. Whoops. Oh no. I thought I broke it too quickly, but I just barely broke it at the time I should have. Wrong terminal. Get our brass plates because they don't want to come in the terminal for some reason. And then we can make our void metal one. Yay, void metal smeltery. So that is just like a regular smeltery, except it's void metal. And just to help speed it up, I will be putting what were these things called over here? The slurry pumps on them. So we can put up to 3 slurry pumps and then up to 4 alembics. So I will be doing that. Let's make 4 slurry pumps right now. Wait, 4? Hold on a second. I think it's only 3 because you can put them wherever these holes are. The front doesn't count. And I don't think the bottom counts either. So I think just 3. So let's get 3 slurry pumps. I like actually healing when I take damage now. And just make sure we don't have any. Okay. Searching my inventory for slur. Okay, slurry pump. I don't think we have these. Let's make 1, 2, 3 of those. And then the rest of the stuff, I don't think we have alchemical constructs. Let's make those. We need some valves. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Whoa, those making 2s. Whoopsie. Oh well. 1, 2, 3 slurry pumps. All right, great. And then alembic. We are still going to want 4 of these total. So 1, 2, 3. Out of buckets of all the things here. Can we just like make a bajillion buckets? Yes. I want a stack of buckets. Thank you. All right, there we go. And how did I make an extra one on it? Whatever, man. Okay. Okay, so this is going to go down here. This cable is coming from over here. We have 11 channels left on this line currently, which seems like plenty, to be honest. But this is one of our native lines that are straight off the controller, so let's go ahead and do our smelter like so. And we're going to do the slurry pumps here, alembics here, and then to collect all of the Essentia, I'm going to use a buffer, which I don't have any down here. Let me make one real quick. Buffer. We want the Essentia buffer specifically. Need a restricted pipe. All right, Essentia buffer. And then we're also going to use a bellows. And then we're going to use some pipes. Essentia tubes, I guess they're called. I could make some with tiny mana infused pipes, or I could also just use this recipe. This recipe is not bad. But we don't actually really need that many, so... get more tubes, please. 3 tubes is all I need at the moment. So these are going to go in here, here, here. Then our Essentia buffer is going to go here, and our Essentia buffer is going to have a bellows on it, which sets the suction on the Essentia buffer to it sets the suction to level 32. And the Essentia buffer is able to hold multiple types of this, so that's not going to be a problem for that. I'm going to go here and yoink my Essentia import bus I made here. And I'm going to get acceleration card because we're going to want acceleration card for this thing so that it is operating quickly. It's just going to be importing everything there. Let me get what's it called over here? Some smart cables. All right. How are we on channels post this line? It's only 2 channels on this line currently. All right. So now we're going to have our interface on the front of this guy. So let's have this guy come down here. And we're also going to need to fuel this guy. So to fuel it, we're going to do an export bus, which I've never made. Export bus. ME export bus. Yeah, just like this guy. And the fuel we're going to be using alumentum specifically. Alumentum is a fuel that burns extra quickly well, it doesn't burn extra quickly. It makes the processing extra quick in the crucibles. So that's going to go down there. And then I'm going to need an interface here. Because this interface, well, hold on a second. Because so I know that this produces a percentage of items. I'm going to need to kind of have a workaround just in case like it doesn't produce the amount of items expected. And the workaround I'm going to have is basically I'm going to have these items be on a level maintainer, and I'm going to request that the system keep a certain number of stock. But in order for this craft not to fail, I'm going to use an autocomplete card. So the autocomplete card makes it so when you do a job, it will do the job and it won't wait for the item to finish crafting. So if you request 5 of something and it only gets 4 back, it doesn't care because it completes the job as soon as it put the item in the input. But I don't want there to be a bunch of different items trying to get in here at once. So let me do an interface here. Let's see. Let's do our interface on this side. So interface is going to be over here. And we want this interface pointing upwards. I cannot see which way it's pointing. Okay, it's pointing upwards. And we're going to use like a tiny chest here. So tiny chest, this one, mini chest is what they're called, because those only hold 1 item. And then we're just going to use a translocator to get them into the crucible. Bloop, just like that. And we just need to bring our channels down here. I might run the line in the back instead of through the front because we can go underneath here. Yeah, let's go ahead and run it back here instead. So just gonna run it like that. All right, so that will be taking like 3 channels now. Channel should be 1 of 3. Or 3 of 8. Yeah, 3 of 8 channels. And now I just have to do this. So this is going to be called the Essentia Smeltery interface. So let me name that really quick. Essentia Smeltery. And then I'm going to get my sword out. I'm going to get an autocomplete card. I don't know why I ran upstairs. I can literally make one from down here. Autocomplete. All right, there we go. I've gone to the wrong basement. All right, so now whenever we request anything in here, it should just be like, bam, Done. So, for instance, one of the sources I'm going to be using for desiderium, which is what we need to make the clumps into this doubled step here. For desiderium, we could use cookies. I've seen as a source, but I think I'm just going to use gold because we have a bajillion pieces of gold. So gold. I was looking through this and I was like, what's our best bang for buck with gold? Let me take minus rows out of here. So block of gold has no desiderium on it for some reason. So gold ingot, this is kind of our baseline. It has 10 desiderium, 10 metallum, which we don't really care about. The gold dust is actually the same. But if we look at gold rod actually has 7 and 7. So if we did gold ingot into gold rod, we would get 4 extra desiderium. However, I was looking through this and I was like, is there anything better? Gold ring, we get 4 of them from an ingot, and that would give us 20 because each is worth 5. But I found this item here, the fine gold wire. We get 8 from each ingot. It gives 3 each, so that'd be 24. So that's what we're going to be using. And I think we already even have fine gold wire on auto crafting. So what we're going to be saying is 1 fine gold wire makes desiderium. This is like Latin. I don't know how to pronounce this. So it makes 3 of those. Ta-da! And then we say Essentia Smeltery. There we go. Our Essentia Smeltery now knows how to make desiderium. So if I request some desiderium, it should be like, yo, there you go, desiderium. It's going to make some gold wires. And, well, it said it's done, but it's actually still crafting. So if we look here, we can see it went up by a little bit. Let's go down and look at our actual smelter down here. So we can see here it is breaking it down. And oh, this is actually rather slow, isn't it? This I expected this Essentia buffer to be collecting the aspects much more quickly, but that is rather slow. We have 60 just sitting over here. We have 10 sitting over there. Okay. I'm gonna come and change this then. So let's see here. Let's use a subnetwork to collect the Essentia. Question is there some kind of equivalent of an Essentia interface? Atomic Energistics. Is the Essentia infusion provider a interface? I know you can suck item. I know you can suck Essentia from it, but I don't know if you can push items into it. Here, let me take a quick look here. Okay, I'm really quickly hopping into my single player test world because if I'm gonna make one of these, I want to know that it works. I don't really want to, make a thing that doesn't work. So, I want to make sure it works before I go ahead and go through the trouble of making one of them. Because I don't think they're like super trivial to make. So infusion provider. That's not horrible, but still. Alright, I do have a little test world here where I was testing how packaged auto and stuff works with Thumbcraft. But let's see. What I wanted to test is if you put Essentia into a Essentia provider, does it actually go? So let me get a let me go ahead and get an export bus here really quick. I guess the best way to test this, we have a Essentia provider here, right? And I'm just going to stick it here. I'm going to use a quartz fiber cable to connect this to that network. So this is a separate network now. And then we can use a Essentia what's it called? Export bus. So Essentia export bus is going to go right here. And then on this side, I'm going to have a Essentia storage bus with a warded jar. Okay. And we know that the we know that in this system over here we have some Terra. So let me get some Terra via a file. So here's some Terra. Put it in here. And that should now be pushing into the Essentia infusion provider. Is that storing it on here, though? No, it does not. So we cannot push into a interface like that. Thinking, how could we push from this interface to that one? I guess what we could do is we could have a warded jar. Because we kind of need it. Basically, we're trying to make a 4-to-1 insertion from a subnetwork so that we're not using a whole ton of channels. Energistics. What other options do we have? Import bus, export bus, storage bus, Essentia terminal, crafting terminal, arcane inscriber, infusion provider. Yeah, so I'm thinking what we're going to have to do it then is basically put it into a jar. Then our main network will import from just that one jar by itself. So I think that's going to be our best bet if we're trying to minimize channels. Why are we trying to minimize channels? I don't know. So let's go up here. We're going to need 4 more Essentia buses. We're going to need a jar. So let's get Essentia import bus. We're going to need... Really? Iron ingot. You just get a bajillion of those, please. Okay, maybe not that many. I don't have a unlimited amount of iron dust yet, anyways. All right, so 4 of these. Then we want an export bus. No, we want a storage bus. Okay, storage bus. Essentia storage bus. We need a sticky piston. We need a hemi chest. Kind of surprised we don't have one. I find those in dungeons all the time, though I guess I probably used it to make other storage buses. Why did you take the thaumium plates away? Like, you had it right, and then you squandered it. Okay, and then some acceleration cards. So I think 1 acceleration card for each Alembic is going to be fine. We have 1 down there right now, and then I would want 4 for the big importer. All right. All right, here we go. Let us scrap all of this up here because it sucks. No pun intended. All right, so Essentia import buses, you are going to go like so. We are going to use a different color cable here. Let's use, where's our painting? I don't know. What's a good Essentia color? I don't have that many colors on this paintbrush, so let's just use blue. And then the line passing down here, I'm just going to use green for this one. All right, and then our storage bus is going to go here. Our jar is going to go here. That is not a jar. Jar is going to go there. This is import bus is going to go on that one, and import bus is going to have maximum acceleration, and each of these I want at least one acceleration. All right. And then now we just need to request some desiderium and see what happens. Desiderium. So let's request like another 100 of them. So there it goes. It's done putting the items. There we can see the items flying in here. And we can see it should be sucking the items, storing it in this jar, and then sucking it away. Can't help but notice it's not doing that. Oh, you know what? We didn't give the network power. Hold on. Quartz fiber cable. All right, that will give this subnetwork power, and then it should start working. Oh yeah, there it goes. Now it moves Essentia quickly. That's what I wanted to see before with the Essentia buffer and the what's it called? The bellows, but it was just way too slow, like comically slow. Okay, so that's how we get those items. Now let's make let's get some sand really quick. I'm gonna throw some sand down there, and I'm gonna throw some charcoal down there, because I want to get a couple types of Essentia in our system. Charcoal does have this Potentia and Ignis. So go ahead and melt those dudes down. To speed this up even further, we could like accelerate this. And then I think we could even accelerate these. Maybe not. Actually, yeah, that does seem to be sucking it out quickly when we do that. Let me put more acceleration cards in here. So let me grab 3 more acceleration. In practice, it's not going to need to be this fast. I'm just gonna... I'm like, what is it doing here? I bet the assemblers are stuck, aren't they? Yep. As always. Okay. Just gonna speed this up. Speed this up. Speed this one up. And speed that one up. So right now it's just taking its sweet time because it's doing Ignis, I guess. Where's Ignis coming from? Oh, here. It's just grabbing this one first. I wish there was something better than like a jar, but sure. That's kind of what I have since there's no equivalent of a Essentia. I mean, I guess one thing I could do is that I could... This would be a little insane, but I would have to make another one of these Clathrade formers. I ended up putting it up here, by the way. I could make another one of these and just push the Clathrades back. But making that was super annoying. I don't know. I mean, I'll do that if things seem like they need to be done. What is going on here? So just doing the charcoal. This is like as fast as it can go, more or less. It would be good if it like took something else besides the Potentia so that like it can use more of these at the same time. Oh, it is doing that. Okay. Looks like it's using those 2 at a time. It can go faster if it would take all of the same ones at the same time. Like this is how fast it can actually deplete when it puts its mind to it. I guess I could have another jar as well. Not so much an issue on this side, but it would be an issue on this side because we need another import bus. And yeah, if I'm trying to conserve channels. Okay, well, this is good enough for now. This uses 3 channels over here. This subnetwork is using 4 channels by itself, but that's fine. All right, so now we can make some more Clathrade recipes. So let's do sand makes 5 of these. Whoops. And 5 of these. And then charcoal makes 10 of those, and then actually here I can just do this, right? I can do one Potentia, one Ignis, and then double plus 2, and then I just need to get a piece of charcoal. All right. That is correct, right? Charcoal is 10 and 10? Yes. Okay. Now we put those in our Essentia smeltery. And what do we need for clumps? Clump. For clumps, we need Potentia. Okay, so we need something that's just pure Potentia as well. Not to be like not to use the all of the charcoal for that. How about if we do this? So if I say that the charcoal is primarily used for Ignis, then for Potentia, I believe Potentia we can say is from Redstone, right? Redstone. Yeah, Redstone is pure Potentia. So let's get a Redstone here. Potentia. All right, and then let me get our smeltery Essentia. I'm going to take out the 10 Potentia from Ignis, and we're going to put in the 10 Ignis and 10 from Redstone. Okay, so now if I just say, hey, level maintainer. Do we have some room in level maintainers? Yeah. Let me make a new one, because we kind of have a few going on here. Oh, let me move this one up. Plop this up here. I'm just going to use a cardboard box to move it because it doesn't go in the dolly. There we go. Let's make 2 level maintainers, actually. Those should be crafted up fairly quickly. All right. So now we can get some Clathraids here. We can say Desiderium, Ignis, Potentia, and Terra. I always want to maintain like 1,000 of each of those. Why are these numbers in here? I have crashed the game. Just my client, luckily, not the server. Okay, these are no longer being wonky as heck. All right, so Desiderium, let us maintain 1,000 of these, and we're going to craft them in batches of 64. Actually, what are the crafting batches of the wires? It's 3 each, right? So 64 times 3 would be 192. 1,000, please. Okay. For Ignis, we're going to set 1,000. And we are going to craft them in batches of 640, I guess, because that's a stack of charcoal. Terra, we are going to set 1,000. And we are going to craft them in batches of 320. Potentia, 1,000, 640, and then we also needed entropy. I forgot about that one. Perdicio. So 1,000 of you, and 320. Okay, so those should just like start crafting by themselves. In fact, they're already going. Look at that. So if we go over here, we can see what it's doing right now. It's doing charcoal. Right now, it is waiting for the charcoal to get out of the way. If it's doing multiple at the same time, I might want to do that second bus setup. But I'm not overly concerned about it being like top efficiency, to be honest. Also, it's gonna keep pushing items in here until they're all crafted, so. Oh, did I put the autocomplete card in here? I did. Why is it not auto-completing these? Oh, because it hasn't pushed enough items into the interface yet. Got it. So it's waiting to push items into the interface. I guess I could also make like combinations of items. Like if I wanted to make one item to make an alumentum, I could put one charcoal with one sand. But that's going to bring us to our next step, auto crafting stuff with Thumbcraft. So I'm going to do a. Did I already make the packaged thumb? Did I make the packaged thaumatorium? I don't feel like I did. This doesn't look like a familiar recipe. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So more pick. Make one of you. Please take the items from storage. Okay, brass plate. Oh, we don't have any. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. No crafting CPUs are available. Probably because it's shoving a bajillion things in there. I need to make some like smaller crafting CPUs that can just support smaller crafting jobs. Okay, there's our brass plates. And glass. Okay, glass pane. I know we had. You lied to me on that one. So glass panes. Salus Mundus times 2. Simple arcane doohickeys. Alchemical construct. And then a thaumic package converter. So we need a packaging component. One of these guys first. By the way, the reason I put that chest down here is because I didn't want it to shove a bajillion items down here when it auto-completed the recipe. So it's only going to be able to shove what is basically available to be worked in that. What can we speed up here? It's taking from this one predominantly, so speed that guy up. There we go. Getting all the terror out there very quickly now. Now the Perdicio is going. What are you doing here? Why is the Terra not going back? Oh. Whoa. I guess it was. It was just doing it super quickly. Alright. What else did we need here? Oh yeah, we needed to make this dude. Again, with the brass plates. Come on, you're killing me. Alright, and then our core item that we are upgrading is a crucible, right? Yeah, crucible. Oh yeah, we need a cauldron. In fact, we're going to need 2 because we're going to be making a second crucible. Cauldron. Go ahead and... I could have sworn I just got 2 Salus Mundus out, but sure. Alright. Let's go over to Thumbcraft and do our infusion. Now I get to show off the automated loading system I made. Which is really just a super basic system. So yes, 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 yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Just throw all these items in there, and ta-da, they're loaded up exactly where they should be. Unless there's an odd number, then if there's an odd number, there's going to be an odd number, and that's how it is, but... Alright, let's check our recipe. We need Fabrico, Machina... oh, we don't have Fabrico. Get a crafting table for the Fabrico. Machina, I think we're probably good on. Yep, because I put so many levers last time. Alchemia, we are good. Ignis and Ordo, we are good. Okay, so just waiting for that, and that is good, and we do our craft. Where's my gauntlet? I'm in a bottle. Thank you. Alright, so I did test this, as you saw in my little test word. I did test this in single player, just to kind of understand how it works. We are going to need a nitor. Actually, let's use an orange one because we have less of those. How's our channel situation over here again? Still have 8 channels left on this greater line. Okay, so in order to do this, basically you need to have your crucible, and it needs to be powered per normal. Then you put the packaged thaumatorium on top of it, and then you need to hook up something called a package. You need to hook up something called a unpackager. Oh, that's actually kind of a recipe there, huh? And it uses cardboard boxes. Do I have cardboard boxes automated? Cardboard boxes. No. Let's automate those really quick. Cardboard box. We're gonna want to make 3 of them per batch. That goes in blood altar. Okay. Now we can go ahead and make an unpackager. Should craft like lightning fast. There's nothing in here that's going to take too long to craft. Yep, pretty much what I expected. Except the cardboard boxes. I should probably craft up those kind of in advance. So cardboard box, let's just get like 33 of them, sure. Because these are going to be this process here is going to be a bottleneck if we are stuck waiting for cardboard boxes to craft with blood. Okay, we should be able to make our unpacking now. Unpackager, there we go. So the unpackager is going to go here, and it's going to use a channel. And it should transfer power into the thaumatorium. And basically in here, we need to make a pattern of a package to deliver. So let's do that. To do that, you need to make a packager. So, okay. Good thing I just requested those cardboard boxes, because, yeah, we immediately need them. Why are you still sitting up here? That's odd. Whoops. Why did it not pull the cardboard box out? A little confused about that. Let me manually watch the craft over here, because I wanna make sure it works. Be back in a second. Okay, it worked that time for some reason. I'm not sure why it didn't work before, but it seems to be working now, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And if it gets stuck again, I'll figure it out when it happens. Alright, so we need a packager. That should, once again, not take all that long to make. Here we go, packager made. Alright, so the packager doesn't have to be by the unpackager, it just needs to be anywhere in the network. But basically, the recipes on this are going to correspond to the recipes in a unpackager somewhere, so we might as well kind of have them close to each other so we know what's what and we don't have spaghetti packagers. And then we need a recipe encoder. Package encoding recipe. Okay, and this needs compressed crafting tables. It also needs grains of infinity. Oh my goodness. How's our infinity over here going? I mean, we definitely have some, so. Okay, recipe encoder. Oh yeah, we need the crafting tables. So, compressed crafting table. Well, that's not too bad. I thought that was a double compressed crafting table or something, which is a thing. Doesn't seem to be used for anything, though. Alright, so we should now be able to make a package encoder. And this doesn't need to be attached to anything. This is basically just like a crafting terminal for patterns. Alright, and then now we need basically the equivalent of a blank pattern for packaged auto. So those are called pattern recipe holders, and they craft in pairs. So let's make a pattern. Sorry, where is the pattern recipe holder that I just made? Also, I just saw that we have 2 of something in here. Why do we have 2 tungsten wire X16? Get that out of there. Did I not encode this? Pattern recipe. Oh, hold on. Are we full in here? Nope, we're not full in here. Okay, there they are. I don't know why they're not showing up in the thing. But alright, pattern recipe holder. Package recipe. Oh. It's because I can't read. The amount of infinity dust this is requiring is kind of crazy. Let me just go ahead and grab my white pouch. And let me sit here and let me just spam click the crap out of this drawer for a second. And then now we need to open our pouch. That does not take the items away as fast as I had hoped. Items sit still there for 1 second. I'm going to go time in a bottle something really quick. Who is doing this? This thing right here, right? Okay. Alright. Let's go dump it into our ender pouch now. It should be much faster. I mean, it's not amazingly faster, but it is something. I was hoping it would just, like, instantly clear the pouch, but... Alright, there we go. Got all of our infinity grains now. Alright, package recipe holder. Go. Are the cardboard boxes broken again, or... Oh, no, it's just waiting for blood. Okay. Alright, pattern recipe holder. So what you have to do is you have to make your pattern. So we are wanting to make alumentum. So in order to make alumentum, we have to first tell it what kind of processing recipe this is. So this is a crucible recipe. So now we shift click that. These are the essentials it requires. And this is the item it requires, and this is the item it creates. So we go ahead and save all of these recipes. So now both of these recipes have crucible 9 alumentum in them. So one of these has to go in the packager, and one of them tells the packages where to go. So now if we request alumentum, so we have none alumentum. If we request like 32, it should throw it in there and start crafting it. Hey, how about that? Pretty nifty, right? And this is how we can automate specific things that we want to make. How to automate specific things we want to make in the thaumatorium if we want to make more things. Just really quickly going to look at the crucible. Let's see, I'm going to flip through these recipes really quick, besides the clusters and shards, to see if there's anything we realistically would want to make in here. Here's one potentially, if we wanted to do this Vintium dust to get mana powder recipe. Also mana. We could use this to get the nitor. We'd also have to get lux, though. I think a good source of lux is just like torches, though. I believe that is a pure source of lux. Where's torches? Tiny torches, 1 lux. Okay, how about like regular torches though? Regular torch, 5 lux. Also some potentia and ignis, but that wouldn't really be the primary focus. So yeah, if we wanted nitor, I'll keep looking through these. Oh, here's an idea. So we could turn shards into we can turn slivers into shards, crystals, and then we could use those to make Salus Mundus automatically. This is one we might want, the Infinity Egg. Yeah, honestly, not really seeing a terrible amount in here that we would want to automate. Ender elevators, maybe. Maybe. Uh, but, yeah, basically anything in there. Oh, obviously, Thaumium, if we want to automate Thaumium. Let's go ahead and do, what's it called? Let's go ahead and do everything that we want to automate, because taking these recipes out and moving them around is kind of a big pain in the butt. So I'm just going to borrow these really quick, bring them back up to our package encoder, put them back up here. So let's do Thaumium ingots in the wrong kind of Thaumium. Here we go. In the crucible, we would want to use the stainless steel recipe. There we go. So that is set in recipe slot. These can hold up to 20 different recipes. We would want to do Infinity Egg in the crucible to create Awakened Draconium. Okay, and we would want to do Metallum V crystal, because we're going to have a lot of this Metallum. Metallum we already have a fair amount, but Metallum Vis crystals. Oops. And was there anything else that caught my eye in the crucible? These recipes with the clumps, we're not going to be using one of these packagers for them, because this is for crafting stuff on demand. For crafting these, we want to passively craft them with Desiderium and Potentia. So we'll be going over how we're going to do that later. Anyways, let me scroll through the recipes one more time. I don't want to be shuffling these items around constantly, so I want to make sure we got everything the first try. So be back once I have looked through these again. Oh, netherite dust. I don't think we actually have any of this, but let me add that one. Netherite dust. Do we have any of that? We do have some netherite dust, but this is the only way to process it, and I just kind of like left it alone because it was annoying. In the event we want to process it, I am going to throw that in here. So go ahead and throw that recipe in there. Let me keep looking through these recipes. Be back again. There's this thing called a rotten egg, but I don't know what that's used for. I don't know, like, ice and fire mod hardly at all, so just gonna not worry about it. Liquid death we don't use for anything, right? Nope. Okay. I mean, this is basically my process of going through this, just looking through these items very, very quickly. There's a button, yeah, I can just press page down to go to the next page. That's nice. So just scrolling through here. Nitor. Yeah, Nitor I'm going to go ahead and add as well. Just in case we do end up wanting it down the road later. Alright. I guess by some odd chance, if I want more blazing cores, I will add that in here as well, because that's kind of a unique place to get blazing cores from. But we should be getting ready to be wrapped up through the whole list here. Cobwebs, I don't think we're gonna... Cobwebs we have other ways to make. Not worried about those. Night slime, I don't think we need that for anything, so not worried about that. Unless we need the fluid for something? No. Okay, clay we have other methods for. Don't think we need any more of these porous stones. I think I made enough earlier when I was making them. Rotten flesh to leather. We have enough leather from our whale farm, so copper to zinc we don't care about. All right, that's everything. Glowing mushroom. Hang on, glowing mushroom from random things. What is that used for? Luminous powder. Um. Crafting ingredient. You can combine luminous powders and enchanted items in a crafting table to make the enchantment glow in the dark. That's neat, but this looks like mostly cosmetic stuff, so I'm just not going to worry about it. All right. This, I think, is everything we would want in our crucible. So there we go. Pop one of those in there, pop one of those in there, and now if we wanted to... Oh no, I didn't save the recipe before I pulled the card out. Oh no, please don't clear what I have in there right now. Save all recipes to holder. Yes, save all recipes to holder. Okay, good. It didn't overwrite them when I pulled them out. So now we can craft all of those things on demand. Great. What else did I want to do here? I think that's probably going to be it. Oh, I did want a crafting card in here, just so it will auto-craft alumentum if it needs alumentum. So alumentum, or not alumentum, crafting card. When you put a crafting card in an export bus, it will basically craft that item to push the item. So use stocked items or craft items when exporting. Do not use stocked items, only craft items. Use stocked items. Okay, so yeah, so we just wanted to use stocked and then craft if there's not enough. All right, this setup is all nice and ready to go. We have Essentia on demand-ish, and alumentum is an important thing because alumentum we need for our next step of fuel enrichment. So with that, we can now kind of do the next step of fuel enrichment, but with this, I think it's going to be the wrapping up point of this episode. Next time, I'm going to come back, and I don't know if I'm going to set up all of the ore processing on camera. Probably not, because it's just multi-block spam for the most part, and I don't think multi-block spam is all that interesting to watch. So I am going to do my, like, you got to watch me build these chemical reactors on camera. You got to watch me build the wire mill extruder bending machine on camera. You got to watch me build this stuff on camera. No, you didn't get to watch me build this stuff. You got to watch me build one of those. I think I did the cutting machines on camera, right? Anyways, we've done a lot of multi-blocks. It's kind of the same stuff over and over and over. Oh no, the cardboard boxes got stuck here again. I don't know why that's happening. Oops, and then I keep accidentally packaging the or putting these into a thing over there. I'm wondering if I just have, instead of reading the redstone lamp, if I read the altar directly, is that gonna make it any more consistent? You can give that a go. Sorry, no, I said I was supposed to be ending the episode. Alright, we'll see if that's any more consistent with cardboard boxes. I can just go ahead and cardboard boxes, just craft up. Wait, are we still trying to craft some? Yeah, we're still trying to craft them, so I'll just go ahead and test that off camera. Next time, we will have ore processing set up, I think. Unless I change my mind about how I want to do it. Anyways, if you are enjoying the series, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.